Here's June 22, 1950's episode of Father Knows Best called A New Housekeeper, starring Robert Young.
Mother, is Maxwell House really the only coffee in the world?
Well, your father says so, and your father knows best.
Yes, it's Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as father. A half-hour visit with your neighbors, the Andersons, brought to you by America's favorite coffee, Maxwell House. The coffee that's always good to the last drop. Extensive research has proved conclusively that there are two kinds of husbands. One, the husband who takes absolutely no interest whatsoever in household affairs. And two, the husband whose wife wishes he'd mind his own business and leave things alone. In Springfield, at the White Frame House on Maple Street, Jim Anderson is about to demonstrate that there is no happy medium. Like this.
6 goes into 36 6 times. 6 goes into 42 7 times.
Kathy, why don't you stop that? You know Mother has a headache.
But I have to learn my 6 gazintas.
Margaret, could I have another cup of coffee, please?
Of course, dear. Bud, stop banging your feet on the table.
I wasn't banging my feet, Mom. I was... Holy cow, look at the time. I gotta go. Come on, Squirt.
Well, stop pulling me.
See you later, everybody.
Bud, don't slam the door.
Did you call me, Dad?
Never mind.
Okay.
Mother, why don't you lie down for a while? I'll take care of the dishes.
Well, that's very sweet, Betty, but it isn't necessary.
Well, all right. I'll come right home in case you need me for anything.
All right, dear.
Bye, Father.
Goodbye, Betty. Your head still aching, honey?
No, it's really nothing, Jim. I don't know why everybody makes such a fuss over a little headache. You'd think I were dying.
Margaret.
Yes, dear?
You know, you haven't been looking very well lately.
Well, that's a pleasant way to start the day. How to cheer up your wife in 6 easy lessons.
I don't mean you look that bad. I mean, you just look so tired.
Jim, darling, in 5 years I'll be 40, and then you can swap me in for 2 20s.
Margaret, I'm being very serious about this. If you want to treat it as a joke.
All right, dear, I'll try and be more respectful.
Well, where was I?
You were telling me I looked like an old hag.
Oh. Well, that's not what I said at all.
I'm sorry, a young hag.
Margaret, I'm merely trying to be helpful. I think I know why you're tired, and I believe I have the answer to the whole problem.
You're going to shoot the children.
Well, that had occurred to me. But I think I have a better idea. What you need is a housekeeper.
Oh, Jim, don't be ridiculous.
I don't see anything ridiculous about it at all. The Gilroys have a housekeeper, and I sell 3 times as much insurance as he does.
Jim, it's not a question of how much insurance you sell. We don't need a housekeeper. And where would she sleep, or haven't you thought of that?
Of course I've thought of that. She can sleep in the den on the rollaway bed.
Jim, I don't want a housekeeper.
Then when people like the Edwards come over for dinner, there wouldn't be all the fuss and worry.
Jim.
Yes, dear?
Who are the Edwards?
Well, Harry and Grace Edwards. You remember them, don't you? We met them at the Hathaways last week. He's the little stocky fellow with the red face. President of the Chamber of Commerce, remember?
And they're coming to dinner when?
Tomorrow night, didn't I tell you? I could have sworn.
Jim,
that...
is there any connection between the Edwards and this sudden passion for a housekeeper?
Well, of course not. I just thought, well, you've been working so hard and you have a headache and...
There isn't any reason for wanting to impress Mr. Edwards, is there? Or Mrs. Edwards?
Margaret, I just finished telling you that the whole thing... Well, after all, Edwards is the head of the Chamber of Commerce, and there's an opening on the board.
And Bert Gilroy's trying to get it.
Well, the Edwards had dinner with the Gilroys.
And the Gilroys have a housekeeper, so you thought if we blossomed forth with a housekeeper...
Margaret, being on the Chamber of Commerce is a very great honor. I certainly think that it's worth the small expenditure of time and energy.
Jim.
Yes, Margaret?
No housekeeper.
Well, if you'd only listen to me instead of flying off the handle...
I'm not flying off the handle. I'm merely telling you, simply quiet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?